degrees on your severe weather station, 1480 WHBC. All right, we are going to talk all about traffic, roadways, paving, roundabouts, maybe? I don't know. But we have in studio with us this morning City of Canton's traffic engineer, Nick Loukas. How are you, sir?
Good. Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, glad to have you. Glad to have you. That weather forecast probably is not great for your paving projects, is it?
No, the plants are just opening up here soon, but now we need dry.
Yeah,
So
to get that all
we're
done.
getting there. Yeah.
So let's talk about that, the 2026 paving program. Tell me about it.
Yeah. So we're kicking it off here pretty soon. We got a bidder and a contractor on board. We have about a $4 million project this year. So paving about 25 miles of our roads. It's about a 15th of our whole road system. So that's
Okay.
a good chunk.
Yes, it sure
But
is.
still, with our needs, we have over $20 million of streets that need paved, and so we're doing about $4 million worth this year. But we're kicking off. It'll probably be looking in April, most likely. We'll start with the curb ramps. We'll replace the curb ramps always when we pave a new street.
Okay.
And we start with those, and then some other concrete work with some crosswalks and things like that. But the paving will probably be a little behind those that concrete work, but coming up soon. $4 million is a big project, so
Yeah,
they'll
big
be
project.
all over town, at any given time. So,
How long is this going to take, do you think?
it usually takes throughout the summer, even into fall a little bit, just with a program of that size, and it's not just in one area. So
Yeah.
a lot of do an area, move to another one, and depends on how many crews they put on it. So yeah, throughout.
People will be very happy, won't they?
Everybody that's on a street that's getting paved for sure.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So, yeah, we unfortunately can't do them all, but yeah, where we can, it's obviously makes everybody a little happier.
Yeah.
I live on a brick road.
So-
I don't not quite. I don't get the asphalt.
Don't get that
but
thrill, right?
no.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about the West Tusk project.
Sure.
Fill us in on that one.
Yeah. So the West Tusk project, we pushed it back a little bit just to get finalized, especially with the right-of-way acquisition. We're looking at August having that all complete, our plans complete and right-of-way acquisition and bidding that out. So we're looking at this fall will be the kickoff of some work. It might not be the whole putting roundabouts in right away, but we have a lot of utility work and underground work. We're replacing water lines and sanitary sewer lines and probably doing some relocations, potentially some gas and some other utilities. So late fall, that'll kick off. That'll be a heck of a project.
Yes.
Both I think ultimately in a positive sense, I think it'll be a great project for the city and for the area. In the meantime, construction will be definitely a challenge, but we've worked with the hospital and other businesses there, but particularly with the hospital with access to emergency, from day one. They've been, the hospital's been on board with us from day one and helping us make some decisions. They're the single biggest kind of property owner there, and obviously the access to the emergency, working with emergency services. So that'll be coming. We'll probably have some more more information for that late summer. If I'm on or Chris is on or the mayor, we'll get some more word out.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And that's a roundabout right there where the hospital is, right?
Two
Altman.
two roundabouts actually.
Two roundabouts,
yeah,
right.
One,
Sorry.
one around Arlington and one at Broad. So
Okay.
kind of bookend there. There'll be a median in between and some pedestrian crossings across the street there. So there's been a history of pedestrian fatalities on Tusk on various parts. So we're excited for to have a nice safety improvement out there. Slow people down, safer crossings, safer intersections.
I can't wait
So,
to see it.
Yeah.
I honestly
Should be something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it should be something. That's exactly right. All right. What about the City County Fiber Optic Project? Fill us in on that one.
So that's a little different one than I'm
Yeah.
used to in the
Yeah.
past. But yeah, this is a really exciting project for us. So it's a joint project between us and Stark County. We're running 60 miles of fiber around the city and kind of spoking out to some different areas, some different county buildings. So we've teamed up from the beginning started with the county auditor's office. Zach Malloy is the head of IT for the auditor's office. And at the time, Alan Harold was auditor and now is a big supporter as a auditor for us. So the project with that 60 miles, we're connecting most of the city assets. So buildings, traffic signals, that includes the fire stations and all the other city buildings and our traffic signals and lift stations for, the sewer lines and all those, and anything you can think of. and then we're also connecting a lot of county buildings. So we already had, we've been working with the county a long time, great relationship working with our fiber and GIS systems. So we've had interconnection between our buildings, and the county maybe goes off one of our fibers to get to the dog pound in the sanitary engineer's office, and now it's extending, so now the county engineer's office will be connected, board of elections, the jail. So it's just great to have that interconnection between our own buildings and the county, between their own and each other's.
Right.
So that's exciting. And we've also extended up to the airport, to the county line. So we will eventually, there's some work being done up there to tie us in. So we'll actually have a physical connection to the Summit County ring. Summit County and Stark County be physically connected with fiber, which will enable for the emergency services, educational, different school districts. Stark State has a connection then, where I think there's a hub there for the schools. So it's that's a really exciting, project for all of us.
Yeah, and very an important one too, for sure.
Yeah.
We'll finish up by having you fill in us about Fulton Road and Harrison Avenue and that area, that project that's going on.
Yeah, that's been in the news a lot, I think, recently. So we did have the public meeting a couple weeks ago and got some very good input from residents and business owners and everyone. So it was nice to be able to fill some people in. I don't know if we convinced everybody that it's that they like the roundabout, but we listened. There's a lot of concerns, especially with businesses, and this is the same with the Tusk project too, with businesses during construction. Making sure that we can maintain their access to the business, and that's absolutely a priority for us. Is maintaining the access to their business, number one, but also letting people know that they can get there. If somebody drives, to make sure we sign it for them. Just to ensure that everybody can get to their businesses. I think ultimately it's going to help all the businesses on Fulton, and also going back to Tusk, it'd be a good project. But there's that painful time of construction that we just need to work with them. We will, absolutely, work with them to keep everything going and keep things moving as well as we can.
Maybe we should have a roundabout lesson seminar, for folks, because I think it's because you don't know how to handle them when you drive, when you come upon them, that maybe if you knew, it would be a lot easier, right?
I think that's a big part, because you and I didn't learn on a roundabout when we when we learned to drive.
No.
And my kids do. One of the first places I think my wife took my son was to our roundabout at Market and in Navarre, right? And he learned on that right away. And they came by our office, and we have a roundabout near our office. And when he did his driver's class, they went around. So the younger generation, they get a lot of, they drive it, and it's just it's what
like,
they
what's
learn.
the problem, Mom?
No big deal, right? So
Yeah.
definitely just an unfamiliarity with them.
Yeah.
And they're becoming more and more prevalent, especially if you go up north,
Yes.
to Green area and things like that. So
Pittsburgh.
and they're not, shouldn't put them everywhere necessarily, but there's a lot of places they come in. Yeah, they're really good. Are a lot of good success. Not just from the key is not just from the vehicular side, but the pedestrian side of things. They're a lot easier and safer for a pedestrian, especially someone in a wheelchair, to cross. It's more comfortable than a big intersection with multiple lanes where people are turning right and left and you don't see
And
you.
you know where they're coming from.
So we really need to look at that whole picture of not just the vehicles, but bicyclists and pedestrians, both able-bodied and with accessibility challenges. So.
All right, sir. Well, thank you. Lots of great information. Thank you for coming in.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, good to see you. Thanks.